Hey, it's me, Art of Singularity, and welcome to my new video. In this video, I'm just going to be filling this page up. Well, not filling this page up, obviously, I'm just going to be drawing. To fill an entire page is crazy. I'll be drawing and talking. How was your day? Was your day good? Did you get to draw something you liked? Just did some basic doodles, you know? Did you do anything important? Did you study? Like, as in studying drawing? Your favorite artist? Or whatever it is you want to do. What did you have fun today in general, or in drawing, or got to the park? Anything? Touch grass, as they say, as the youth says these days. I mean, I'm not a youth. I am only 19. But yeah, I mean, how was your day going? All right, I'm just gonna draw whatever I feel like drawing. I'm trying to make it something interesting. I do have to finish this drawing, actually. Let me see. Do I have anything to talk about? I could talk about the basic philosophy stuff that I've been listening to. For instance, I finally figured out what I think therefore I am means, and I went over this in stream, but I mean, it's pretty simple. It's so simple that a child could figure it out, right? Like what I think I think therefore I am means, and I think it was from Descartes, as someone in stream pointed out, because I was like, is it Aristotle? And it was like, no, it's not. It's not Aristotle. It's from Descartes, and basically he was having a existential crisis, trying to figure out what can you actually prove, because I mean, he figured out that his senses, like human senses, are not that reliable to actually, you know, tell you what reality is. I mean, like, even like, just look at your sight. Like, this is how flawed your sense of reality is, or how much it's not telling you. You can't see your nose right now. Not if you're just looking. If you're looking around without paying attention, you can't see your nose. Because why? Because your brain is actually cutting it out of reality. And so if your brain could do something like that, cut an entire body part out of your vision, what else can it not do, right? We all know about dreams. We know about everything else. We know that your body can, you know, your mind can play tricks on you. You can hallucinate, you can dream, sleep paralysis. There's so many things and so many different avenues that your brain could fool you in. So anyways, Descartes was having some sort of existential crisis. I don't exactly know the exact story. Yeah, whatever. But, you know, anyways, yeah. So he tried to figure out, what can I actually prove exists? And, you know, it's a whole convoluted thing, you know, okay, I can't prove that the table exists because, you know, how can your senses be trusted? You know, it's kind of like everything could be a simulation, blah, 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 blah. Eventually he got to, okay, well, what is the one thing I can't doubt, right? Because it's like, I can doubt that this table exists. I can doubt that the sun exists. I can doubt everything, right? You can doubt religions, you can doubt whatever you want. Any belief system and any type of thing, object in this world can be doubted. But what can't be doubted? And eventually came to the conclusion that, okay, well, the one thing I can't doubt is myself. I cannot doubt that I exist. And it's like, okay, how is that even possible? Like, what's the logic behind that? And it's very simple logic, like I was saying, a child could figure it out. I can't doubt that I exist because, well, I'm thinking, right? Because to doubt is to think. I've heard a YouTuber, I think it was Alex O'Connor or someone like that, and he was like, and he put it in this way, right? To doubt is to think, or at least this was his interpretation of Aristotle, or Descartes, sorry. To doubt is to think, and if something is thinking, if I'm thinking right now, then there must be something doing the thinking, right? So, and whatever is doing the thinking, let's just call that me, because, I mean, that's what I recognize myself as. So, you can doubt that other people exist, sure, but you can definitely not doubt that you exist, because you are thinking. And to think, there must be something doing the thinking, right? So, that's what I think, therefore I am, right? I think, therefore I cannot doubt that I exist. I think I think a lot of philosophy, I love the best philosophy that I like, or just things in general in life, is Simple stuff like that. Stuff that's like very simple and to understand. It like meshes well with the human brain. Of course, just because something meshes well with the human brain doesn't mean that it's true. There could be a multitude of things that like don't mesh well, like quantum mechanics. I don't think quantum mechanics meshes particularly well with human brains. I think it's quite complicated to figure out. But that doesn't mean that they're not true, right? So just because something is complex or complicated doesn't mean that it's not true. Let me see. How about was it Pascal's wager? So basically, Pascal's wager is let's take the, I think it was the Christian God, right? Christianity, right? So say we have an option of believing Christianity, and just like going through your life and being Christian, right? Let's just say you can make a choice like that, hypothetically. I think it's harder than that, but if you could, should you do it and why? And so it's basically the pros and the cons. Okay, well, the cons are, if you believe in Christianity, you go through your life, okay, well, and here's how it goes. Either you believe in it or you don't. And so, okay. I believe that, you know, Christianity exists, and I go through my life, and then I die, right? At the end of our lives. Okay, and so it's like, if it was true that Christianity is true, then, well, you get to go to heaven, you know, you get to see all your friends, and you don't go to hell, right? And everything's good. If it's not true, then you just don't exist, and you don't lose anything. So you have basically everything to gain and nothing to gain. you have everything to gain from believing, and you have nothing to lose from believing, because, I mean, you lived a good life, right? Because, I mean, the morals are pretty good, for most religions, so it's like, okay, yeah. But if you don't believe in Christianity, what then? Okay, so you live and then you die, and then if Christianity was false, okay, sure, you don't exist, so you don't lose anything, but if it's true, you go to hell forever, eternity, right? Which is like, you have everything to lose and nothing to gain. So which one's better? Probably the one that has, it's like, putting it a different way, it's like, imagine you get a button that said, if you press this button, you get $1 million. And if you don't press this button, you go bankrupt, right? You have two choices. Either like you have a choice to press the button and a choice to not. Well, why would you not press the button? You don't lose anything if the button's not true, right? You're not going to lose anything. You're not going to gain anything. There's no point to not press it because you're not going to lose anything. But if you press the button, you have everything to lose and nothing to. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose because you pressed the button. You believe the button was true and you gained $1 million. And it's like, if the button was real and you didn't press the button, then, well, now you're bankrupt, right? So it's like that. It's a gamble. And I think it's a very interesting thought. I think it's more complex. I think it's more nuanced than that, in terms of religion, because to believe something is fine, but once it comes down to making a decision on something, you have to believe it. It's like what I've been saying. Like, belief is what you're staking your life on. You believe that an airplane is going to work. You believe that your car is going to keep you safe. You believe all these different things. And sure, you can always believe that the gun is loaded, right? Like, never point a loaded gun at someone. Just act as if every gun is loaded. So never point a gun at someone. You can believe that. You can act as if the gun is true. But you can never actually always just act as if it's true. Because, I mean, let's say there's a gun there. You're not going to go downstairs with a loaded gun and with an empty gun and act as if the gun is true if there's an intruder in your house, right? You have to truly believe it. It's what you're staking your life on. You can't simply act. You have to believe it, right? So you can't simply act for you truly have to believe things. And what you're believing is usually what you're going to like bet your life on. So, and I was saying that to say, what was I saying that to say? No, genuinely, what was I saying that to say? Ah, boy. Oh, jeez. Right, I was saying, believing something like Christianity, I think I think it's harder to do, to act as if it's true, like in Pascal's wager. I think you genuinely have to believe it, and that's very difficult to genuinely believe something, especially if you can't come to the conclusion of like why I should even believe it. Is it logical? Does it make sense to you? And if all these boxes are false, right? If everything you check is like an X, like, okay, then how can I believe something? How can I truly do this thing if it requires me to believe it? And it's like, you can't really. So I think it's a very difficult thing. Going back to the not trusting your senses thing, there was I remember watching what was it? It was a Joe Scott video. It's not Getting Smart Every Day. No, not a Getting Smart Every Day channel video, but I think it was a Joe Scott video, and it was a video about a treatment for epilepsy, right? And it's where the thing in the middle of the brain, I forgot what it's called. It's whatever it is, the thing that connects your right and left brain. People who have epilepsy, there was a treatment a long time ago to just sever it, because epilepsy is an over communication, I believe, between the left and right hemispheres of the brain. So to cut down on communication would be to lessen the effects of epilepsy. So they used to sever it, basically cut the communication between the left and right hemispheres. And what happened was, it started to seem as if people's consciousness, or something like that, is split into the right and left side of the brain. So, for instance, if someone, and I'm not knowledgeable enough to give a true recount of this, so I'm just gonna keep it brief. But an example would be, let me see. So one part of the brain is responsible for, first of all, your left hemisphere controls the right side of your body, and your right hemisphere controls the left side of your body, right? So basically, left brain, right hand, right brain, left hand. And same thing for the eyes, right? So they kind of blocked both sides of the vision, of your vision, or the patient's vision, and then they showed that side that was, they showed one side a note, and it was basically, okay, get up and go to the other side of the room. It was a command. And so the person would actually, it was an experiment. The patient would get up and they would go to the other side of the room. And then, right, and remember, these two sides are not communicating. So it's like the right and left side, the right side doesn't know what the left side knows, and the left side doesn't know what the right side knows. So because you blocked off one side of the vision, the other side of the brain did not get to see the note, right? So the person gets up and walks to the other side of the room, and then they call out, verbally, okay, why did you walk to the right side of that side of the room? And because one part of the brain is responsible for speech and recognition, right? Speech and stuff like that, and the other part is responsible for I can't remember, but it was sight and vision. One of them doesn't understand vision, so one of them never got to sight, right? Obviously. So, but the one that's responsible for speech doesn't get to see. So it didn't get to see, the person didn't get to see exactly why they went to the other side of the room. So you would assume that the person would say, okay, I don't know. But instead, what happened is the brain came up with an entirely different reason. Oh, I went to the side of the room, not because of a note, but because I was tired. Or, I wanted to stretch my legs. I just wanted to see what something interesting was over here, I just want to see out the window, right? These different excuses that the brain came up with just to rationalize why the person took this action, even though there was an actual reason, and one side of the brain understood the reason, and the other side didn't. So it kind of seems like, in cases where your brain is split, it kind of seems like, first of all, your senses are not to be trusted, because your brain can tell you whatever, and the person actually believed, they believed the excuse that their brain came up with. Oh, I wanted to go outside, see outside the window, right? I wanted to stretch my legs, I was uncomfortable, blah, 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 right? The person believed that, but the reason that they actually did it, because the scientists knew, because they gave the person a note, that's why that's what prompted it. It's like, your brain can make up whatever you want, whatever it wants, and you will believe it. Your brain is literally creating reality for you. So, that's a very interesting thought for what, how you can doubt your senses. Some people are like, okay, how can you doubt that this table exists? It's for reasons like that, right? You can kind of just prove, or not really prove, but there's several instances where people's people just aren't that trustworthy. Their senses aren't, right? And I think that's just what I was saying. I finished this drawing. The drawing was a little bit rough, and I went a little bit slow because I was talking about something that I had to really think through it. So I'll try and go quicker with this drawing. Let me see. So this drawing is kind of leaning more to the right. It's a reference on Pinterest. This one is from, well, you can't see the reference this time. I didn't actually do the references so you can see them. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I'll do better next time tomorrow, but I'll actually edit the thing in, the images in, the references. Of course, some references I can't show, but I mean, I could have shown these, but I usually try and show references that I actually have the source for. Like, I can actually point you to who the artist was. I don't want to use a reference and be like, okay, I don't know who this person who drew this. I don't know who the artist is, but I don't want to show that an image and just use the person's artwork and just never credit them. I think that's what I'm saying. So yeah, but it's sometimes very hard, especially on Pinterest. It's very hard to get credit for, because a lot of artists, I mean, people who are on Pinterest don't actually credit the artist. So, yes. I drew a lot of, this character today. This is all the same character, by the way, just like different forms, essentially. Just for fun. Just for fun. I just wanted to do a quick video. I want to do some sort of upload every day. Of course, I do want to make the uploads of some sort of quality, which is kind of what I was doing just by talking. I just like to talk, so I mean that's why I did it. I guess the drawing, what I'm drawing right here is just basically background. And if you enjoy the drawings, I don't really like how this is coming out. If you enjoy the drawings, that's also good, but for this this video specifically, it wasn't really about the drawing for me. Like, I don't have anything to teach, I don't have anything to say about the drawings. Just kind of having fun. Although I do not like this drawing. I don't know, the body's too wide at the bottom. It's like too wide and squished, if that makes sense. She's supposed to be like more stretched out vertically. Taller, I guess that's a word. I want her to be taller but slimmer, which was whatever. So I'm gonna put the elbow there, bring this around here, bring in the arm. Very messy drawing compared to this one, especially. The moment I stop talking about random stuff, I get worse. Maybe that's a sign. No, I'm joking. But I'll give this character some sort of hood or cloak, or so yeah. What do you guys think about Pascal's wager? I mean, to be Pascal's wager, what was the other one? About I think therefore I am. I believe that I think therefore I am is a pretty solid argument. I don't know. I wonder if there's any counter arguments to that. Like, how can you actually say that isn't true? I haven't thought about it. I haven't put thought into it. So perhaps if I actually gave it some thought, I'd actually come up with something. But right now I'm drawing, so I've decided to just give this character like a bunch of cloth or something. Do I keep there? Well, I drew her navel, so I don't really want to draw over it and make it even more messy. So let me try and find a way to just keep it there. Maybe this is pants or something. Why is the pants going upwards? I don't know. Maybe it's interesting pants. Maybe one side is loose. Who knows? I'm sure I can make this drawing into something good, though. For instance, because her legs are so wide, I can just make a baggy pants. This is a master class in how to fake your drawing. Because the legs were wide and the legs were kind of like that, I am just gonna decide to pretend that it was supposed to be baggy pants, and once I do the shading, it'll look like baggy pants. Of course, the drawing isn't as clear and clean as it would be if this was how it was meant to be, but I mean, how do you know that, right? This could just be my art style. Easiest thing. I guess one more thing I'll talk about. Well, to be fair, I guess I was more of on a religious philosophy thing like yesterday than most of other days. So a lot of the things I have today is a little like religious, so or like based in religion, philosophy, and morality and stuff like that. What am I supposed to give this character? I'll give her a blindfold, like a Nier Automata character. No, but so like. Okay, like imagine this, right? You do something bad. You do something bad. Let's say let's say. Okay, no, maybe not that. What's something bad? Stealing. Stealing is bad, right? You steal. You steal, and then immediately after you steal, you die somehow, car accident or something, and then you go to hell. So now, what is hell? Supposedly, there's a bunch of different interpretations of hell, right? And most of these are stemming from, like, I guess moral problems with hell, right? It's like, okay, we probably can't have. Oh, I said I was gonna give her a blindfold, and I immediately started to draw eyes. Okay, so we can't have hell be like this terrible place because, well, it's probably not that moral to like punish. Okay, so imagine this in fact, I'm not even gonna get into that. Is infinite punishment just? Like, is it just to punish someone infinitely for a finite like crime, a finite amount of like crime or bad thing like sin, I suppose. Oh, and to be clear, I'm not religious, but is that but that was probably clear. But is that just? Is that moral? Can you actually morally do that? So like, imagine I steal something, I die, and now I go to hell. And I suffer for a day, right? It's like, okay, that was one day, and then I have to suffer for another day, right? And then another day, and then a week. Just for one thing that I did. And then imagine you have to suffer for, I don't know, a year, right? And then another year, right? And remember, this is like a day, like days going by, right? It's very hard to lose yourself in the meaning of the number. Right? I mean, like, lose meaning in the numbers, right? It's like, okay, anyone could say, like, it's like anyone could say, oh, this, I have 1 million of power in Forge of Empires, right? I don't know, man. I have 1 million, I've done this 1 million times, right? Everyone uses numbers like that, but I mean, 1 million is a very big, imagine 1 million days. 1 million days is an absurd amount of time, right? 1 billion days, right? And 1 billion is not even a grain of sand in the to the ocean. And so a billion years is the grain of sand, and infinity is the ocean, except it's not even comparable to that. It's like a grain of sand in the entire universe, right? And that's not even comparable to that because it's infinity, and the universe is infinite, right? So something that's infinite can never ever be compared because it's just that it's infinite. There's no end. So infinite punishment for a finite crime kind of seems a bit excessive, doesn't it? It's like that's a little bit much. I don't know. I mean, some crimes, sure, right? But even then, I think even for some crimes, the fact that it is finite, you can only do a finite amount of crimes, and that equals an infinite amount of infinite amount of punishment. I don't know if that makes sense, right? Does that make sense? I don't think that really, it's not equal. I think things need to be, if things aren't equal, then it's unfair, right? Like, if you cheat at a game, sure, you can get banned, right? You get banned for the game permanently. Is that fair? I mean, let me think about this. Is banning fair? Like, if you ban someone from a server or a game or whatever else, is that fair? Because it's infinite, like a permaban. It's a permanent ban compared to, but it's not really a permanent ban though, because the person can't live infinitely. Like, they're not never gonna play the game again. I mean, it might be true, but it's not an infinite thing, right? It's not something that can actually hold true infinitely, because I mean the game isn't gonna last forever. Nothing is infinite here. So I don't know. I don't think it's comparable. It's not comparable to like living forever. And in that case, in the case of infinity, how does heaven, like, is heaven good if you have eternal life, like forever? Is that a good, like, yes, it's better, it's 100% better than hell, but I mean, infinite, and anything infinitely forever is kind of bad. And it's like, okay, what if you could do whatever you want? Like, you could have as much fun as you want. You could do anything you want. That's a lot of things, right? But the amount of things you can do is finite. It's not infinite. There's a limited amount of things you can do and an infinite amount of time. Eventually, you're going to run out of things to do. So it's like, is that a good thing? Like, is heaven the best thing that it could be? Can you stop? Like, can you just leave? And you'd assume, like, no, you can't. But you need like free will to be able to like not leave. So if you can't leave, then you don't really have free will over that. So you probably should be able to leave. And if you can leave, it's very complicated. It's very complicated. I think I lost my initial premise. I lost my initial premise in thinking too much. In the first place, I'm just trying to be slightly entertaining while I finish this drawing. Don't know what this is. I mean, obviously the same character because same horns, same stuff, but I mean it's a very interesting outfit. I don't know where I got this from. What is this? And then they ask me like, "Oh, how do you come up with stuff?" Bro, I don't know. I don't come up with stuff. It just kind of happens. Like, what is this? I don't know. She has a blindfold. I didn't even draw the blindfold properly. I have to give her markings at the very least. Okay, here's the character. Right, so basically, to summarize, I think therefore I am. If I'm thinking, I must exist because there must be something to do the thinking. So, I mean, I have to exist. I cannot doubt that I exist. I can doubt everything else. I can doubt that other people exist, but I cannot doubt myself because I know my thoughts and I know that I'm thinking. And if I'm thinking, something is thinking, and that thing, we can call that thing me. So that, I think therefore I am, makes sense. Pascal's wager. If I have a button that says, if you press me, you will gain $1 million. And if you don't press me, I will, you'll go back. I mean, yeah, you'll go bankrupt if you don't press me. Does it, like, should you believe the button? I think Pascal's wager says, yes, you should believe the button, because if you don't press the button and the button was fake, you don't lose. If you don't press the button and the button was fake, you don't lose anything. If you don't press the button and the button was real, you go bankrupt. If you don't press the button, if you press the button and the button was fake, you don't get anything. And if you press the button and the button was real, you get $1 million. So pressing the button is always better for you, right? It seems almost like the Monty Hall problem, but not exactly, right? Where it's like there's 3 doors, blah blah blah. If you heard the Monty Hall problem, I mean, the Pascal's wager seems similar to that, but it's not exactly that. And then let me see. Does finite crime, is it just to punish finite crime with infinite punishment? Right? It's like, because like even 1 billion years worth of punishment is a grain of sand in a grain of sand compared to the ocean, right? It's like comparing a grain of sand to the universe, and that's not even an apt comparison, because 1 billion years and infinity is so vast that it's even greater than the universe. It's so great that has no end, because that's what infinite is, right? So does finite crime, like, just like, does that justify infinite punishment? And I don't think so. I don't think the math checks out for that one. Like, you can make the argument for certain crimes, which is like fair, but like if we're going about it like truly logically, if we're just going to be cold about it, and to be fair, this is not even practical. I think you should probably treat things more seriously than this, but this is just a fun thought experiment. Is that just to treat that with, to treat infinite I mean, you know, treat finite crime with infinite punishment. I don't know. I think that's about it. About done. I do like drawing this character. This character is my favorite to draw. I think just about. I think she's very, because of the nature of her character and the nature of how, yeah, of her character, of this OC, um the God of Singularity. She's pretty much my favorite to draw because she's very fun to draw every time, because I mean, it's like there's no, first of all, her design is very simple, her base design, and there's a lot you can just do with it, and it's always her. You can always tell that it's her because of the horns, so it's very recognizable who the character is. Yeah, I just like that. I guess that's about it. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I guess I'll see you in a different video. I'll see you later tomorrow, maybe. Goodbye and good night.